this before. At one time, some people got up to say, no more ghost towns.
So, when I listen carefully, this is the climax of whatever they are doing. This is the climax. Now, they want to make this ghost town an issue of who is actually speaking for the revolution, who is actually in control, and who is not in control. This will have a direct impact on what Mr. Pobia, Eko, they are trying to do, and Ngongo, they are trying to do with a negotiation with the HD and the Switzerland. This have a direct impact on that project. So now listen carefully. Make a rewind and back some more. We're gonna hear how he talk.
Opinions from those who seemingly are calling the shots for lockdown. Ayabacho says no lockdown. Ayukta-based faction through Yerima says no lockdown. Sako say lockdown. The people don't really know what's happening.
So now the climax that the picture now say Ayabacho, Yerima, Seseko, all of them on one side they say no lockdown. Then Sako say lockdown. Now who go win? This narrative where they put them now for justify where to where they be about for do them where now the negotiation where Paul Biarango arrange about Switzerland already where we know where the Swiss government is push and through the HD. Now the climax is for them for do where to where they want to do them. Make una be careful. Una listen.
Mr. Leo, I think I'll hold a contrary view because we have seen this before. At one time, some people got up to say, no more ghost towns. And others said, the ghost towns have to continue. So I think this is an opportunity for the people to know who is actually controlling Ground Zero.
So, this is the main objective of this ghost town. The last ghost town they called 1 year ago, we know for sure that it was asked, it was requested by the HD to demonstrate power that Sako is in control so that they can continue with their fake negotiation, which is going to be a negotiation forever and stop the war and have ceasefire and all those things that they tried to do after that. But they failed. So don't be worried, but follow.
Because like in the case of ghost towns, the IG of Dr. Sako stood firm and we saw that they are the ones who prevailed. Now, they have always been saying that Ayuktabe has nobody on the ground, that Ayabacho has nobody on the ground. So this is an opportunity for us to see whether it is Ayuktabe through W. Yerima or is Ayabacho.
So this is what they have been saying to the international community and what the HD have been making the case. And what Sako, Ebenezer Akwanga, they began to spend their time for doing for convince the international community say na them be in control on Ground Zero. It is not Ayabacho, it is not Yerima, it is not Ayuktabi. That is what they have been preaching, and that has been the stalemate why this war have been prolonged for these past 2 years without any significant push to negotiate, because the war does not know whether they will go and negotiate with Sako, and Sako cannot negotiate with them for the past 2 years because he is not influential or not on the ground. And now Sako have the backing of Field Marshal and the Field Marshals of the one in film No Pity and all those things they are doing to give him what he did not have previously. So let us know what is going on and let's know the truth. That is the clock of the matter, and this is what is happening right now about your future. Pay attention. That is the question Barrister Fu Johnson have asked. That indeed, now who is in control? They have always made the case to the international community that Ayabacho don't have forces. That's why they come out and say ADF don't have force. They have used conning, used bribery, do everything. They failed. Now they are doing it again, and now they are coming out to say now who is in control. The ghost town is the test. Listen.
Who is going to carry the day by saying that no lockdown? But from what we are seeing, it looks like there is some semblance of lockdown. So let us see how it goes. I think that this is an opportunity for us to know who is actually in control.
Yeah.
So now we see for Bamenda there is some ghost town. There is ghost town. People are locked down in Bamenda. Not necessarily because Sako said so, but because they are afraid of the voice of Field Marshal is about intimidation. But does it mean that Sako is in control? Let's follow.
But then, even if Ayabacho said there was lockdown and Sako said there was no lockdown, the mere fact that one of
Sako
them
says there's lockdown. Ayabacho says there is no lockdown.
Let us assume that Ayabacho had called for a lockdown and Sako says no lockdown. Do you think people will still have?
Thank you.
That is when you know that almost everybody is afraid.
Thank you, sir.
So this journalist now correct. Thank you, Papa. Shake my hand. Now the correct journalist, he don't talk exactly what to be the truth. If na Ayabacho be called lockdown and Yerima and Seseko, the lockdown go still hold because people are afraid of the unknown. That is just the bare matter. Remember me, Kapodane, I called lockdown with less than 30 minutes of consultation when they banned the bike in Bamenda. I called for lockdown for the next day. That means less than 12 hours, and the lockdown in Bamenda was absolutely respected. Does that mean that I control Bamenda? No. It simply means that people are afraid. It also means that people listen to us. But in terms of who can represent the struggle, who is representing Ground Zero, because there are two groups. Be sure for that, there are two groups. You have the group of Sako, Ebenezer Akwanga, and all those who have already gone and committed to the Swiss process and make concession for federalism. And the people of Ayoktabi, Yerima, and Dr. Cho Ayaba, who have said that they will not make any compromise and will only negotiate if that process can produce independence. These two people, these two camps are the two people that are fighting to say that they represent the struggle. Which way will go? Now, this man have made the right question. If it was Ayabacho who called the lockdown will still take effect. Now, let me expose the lies and manipulation that Paul Biya with his agents, that Ashu, Emmanuel, and Sako are trying to pull off from you. Listen.
I'm saying that this is an opportunity for us to really know who is in control. Who is calling the...
It is a lie. It is not by this lockdown that you can know who is in control. But this is the lie they want to push down the truth of Ambazonian people. That because you declare lockdown, they can gauge who is in control or not. Let me tell you why. First, listen to his argument.
Who is pulling the shots? Because media war is different from the actual war on the ground. Dr. Sako has always been saying that he is the one who controls the ground.
So, good news. He is saying that media war is different from what is happening on the ground. Sako is saying that he is the one controlling the ground. And now, when they call this lockdown take effect only in Bamenda for the most part. Boyao have been compromised by who? By Sako, who came in with the county by county and drive away soldiers to go back to Bamenda. He has turned Boya back to La Republique, Victoria back to La Republique. We are now struggling to regain Boya and regain Victoria. We have the one who have pushed the soldiers of General Sagat today that they are calling General Sagat. Help him. He too have worked hard. And we are now trying to rebuild what Sako have destroyed in the northern zone. So Bamenda now have become the center of resistance against Cameroon rule. And now Bamenda is deciding the fate of the whole struggle. Who is in control? Like Ashu Emmanuel said, we'll go by their standard. He says the person calling the shot in Bamenda is controlling the revolution, and that is the person who is supposed to be consequential enough to speak on behalf of the struggle. Listen to him.
Let us see this one. Let us look at this one and see whether his word is the one that is going to prevail or the word of Ayabacho will prevail.
So their assumption is wrong. To know who is in control in Bamenda is not the person who speaks and people respect the ghost town. The ghost town cannot be a test. Because me, Kapodane, I can call for ghost town now. I can extend this ghost town to 1 year and it will hold. I have the soldiers on the ground and the loyalties of our forces in the area who can pull it off by just doing some small action. So we know that to say that by respecting ghost town or not, determine who is in control is wrong. For example, who is actually in control of Bamenda? I will show you the video of the forces who are in control of Bamenda. We have 6 forces that are in control of Bamenda. We have the ADF, which have the biggest force in Bamenda, which is the Alabukam, the Red Lions of Alabukam. You have the forces in Tanka. These are not news. These are things that are all over social media. La Republic knows, so we are not exposing anything that is new. You have I'll call the ones that we know. The ones that people don't know, I will not call. You have Alabukam, which General Cobra is the biggest force in the whole Bamenda. He is the one in charge of Bamenda. You have General Cross and Die of Ntanka. These are all ADF generals. You have the one in Chobo. I will not call the name because it's not out there. You have the other unit that we are operating it from up that place. We don't know the place they did it. But you have 6 groups in Bamenda. You also have the groups in Foya, which is the ADF, which is the IG group. The Foya group is under 7 Kata under General A4. That General Sako have said that they should kill him. Sako have said that they should kill him. That force have been spending their time only kidnapping people in Bamenda. The population in Bamenda have risen up against Foya. So for these 6 forces in Bamenda, who are the ones in control? The generals themselves have come out to speak. I'll play their video so that you know who is in control of Bamenda. The test of calling lockdown can never work. So HD, you will fail this year like you failed last year. Sako is not in control. He has turned over the whole Ambazonia to La Republic. And now Bamenda is the only place left. And Bamenda is standing. We will overcome this lockdown. But just even if the lockdown holds, it does not mean that Sako is in control. It is just social media. So let's listen.
The Sako faction says we are living a crucial moment because the Republic of Cameroon has recruited Nigeria as a reinforcement at the UN General Assembly that is about to hold. They are going to present falsified facts. So
we talk to everybody. We talk to Sako, not directly but indirectly. The person that talks to Sako on our behalf, that before he had that conversation, I actually talked to the PA. He's in Ground Zero. I said, PA, call the Sako. He's a veteran. He's somebody who works in the administration of Southern Cameroon. Call Sako and tell him this is our point, this is our objection. And gain the reason why Sako is calling this lockdown. Sako tell the PA, say, PA, I call lockdown because the United Nations General Assembly, they can't hold small time. We no want me Cameroon government, it go live for day. Cameroon and Nigeria, they plan for go live for day. About which way it happen. So 1 million sea goes down so that they go no say the people of Ground Zero they resist. It sound reasonable, right? But the part tell you say if na your reason that Sako, why you and Cristiano una no go protest for UN? Why una the instant can talk me na Ground Zero lockdown where you go give people them unnecessary punishment? Now una they talk say me then lockdown. If the UN want see am to say na lockdown, they go see say that lockdown they only for Bamenda. It means say that lockdown in never work no if not the objective that. But that was just an excuse. Why I say it's just an excuse? Look at the fact. People who are of bad faith always lie to cover up and uses excuse to cover up their real intention. The real reason they are calling this lockdown is because it has been demanded by the HD. And why you should believe me and why you should think it's true. Number 1, they are a bunch of liars and thieves. Barrister Ashu Emmanuel is a fat liar. The idea that they say Cameroon have recruited Nigeria to go and lie in the United Nations is all a lie. Southern Cameroon is not even in the agenda of the United Nations General Assembly. Nigeria do not have, they can put something there, but we know for sure now, after discussing with our network in Nigeria, Nigeria have no plan to talk about Ambazonia in the United Nations General Assembly. If they can go and add it now because I've said so, to deceive Ambazonia people thinking that it's going to work, it's not going to work. Ambazonia does not feature in the agenda. The agenda is on their webpage. Go now and read the whole agenda. Our war does not even feature. So the idea that Cameroon have recruited Nigeria to go and give a false report. Not that even Cameroon want to give a false report. They are saying that Nigeria will go and give a false report on behalf of Cameroon. That is just big lies. They are just looking for an excuse that looks good in the ears so that they can deceive our people that this ghost town is necessary. This lockdown is necessary. It is not necessary. May we not hear
this lockdown to enable the diplomatic services in Yaoundé make a report to their various countries to tell them what is actually happening on Ground Zero.
Is it to say,
and that is
Is it to say that this?
So the talk said they want me diplomatic call for ground zero, then send indication for their country, say lockdown day. Goes down, they go on for 4 years. That did not do the trick. Is it this one that is going to do the trick? The agenda to push Amazonia diplomatically does not rely on social media. The governing council have engaged with the United Nations directly, with their regional representative directly. They have been on the negotiation table until the Kumba attack. That was suspicious attack that spoiled everything. We are not fighting to negotiate. We are fighting to liberate. Negotiation is as a result of our differences on the ground. The victory we make on the ground is what will give us negotiation, not because you go there, you are fighting that you want to negotiate, that you are going to negotiate, or to prove that there is a problem. The world know that there is a problem already. We have passed that. The struggle have been internationalized. The fact that Nigeria and Cameroon is sitting down to have a meeting, to have convention, is proof that we have internationalized the revolution already. And that was not something done by Sako. So anyway, let's listen.
These nations are not aware of what is happening in
Sir,
Cameroon.
I don't know what they intend to stage, but listening to Dr. Sako, that's what I heard. He said they want the...
So Barrister Ashu Emmanuel is saying that he don't actually know. Because these journalists have challenged him and saying that, how do you know that Nigeria and Cameroon are planning to go and lie in the United Nations? He says that he doesn't know. He have listened to Sako. How can you listen to somebody who have no credibility? Somebody who lied that the United Nations have invited Southern Cameroon in a forum for decolonization. Somebody that lied that Amazonia have friendly match with Waziristan. Somebody that lied about my trip to Boya. That is so corrupt. That is calling for the killing of soldiers on ground zero. Sako have no credibility. Somebody who have criminal record before he left Cameroon. As somebody who have done 419, stealing money from people that he's going to take them in abroad. Sako have no credibility. You cannot rely on what he says. You must follow facts. You must follow some substantiation before you make conclusion. Barrister Barrister Emmanuel Ashu. If indeed you are actually somebody speaking the truth to the people.
And to have the actual image of what is happening. And they will be calling on the various countries to ask their representations in Yaoundé, their diplomatic representation, to report daily or weekly as to the real events and not listen.
So all these things, I just think Barrister Shaw is making them up. Maybe he has had a phone call with Sako and Sako lie him this thing and then he just believe it and he's stealing it. But definitely that Sako will be instructing diplomatic corps in Yaoundé to make daily report that they do as their own job. It's unbelievable. Even me here, I have the diplomatic corps, members of the diplomatic corps regularly consult with me. As a member of the ADF, they consult with our leaders. They know what is happening. It is not up to you to tell them what to do. That are just signs that you are all lying. You don't tell the diplomatic corps what to do. You can make petition, you can write letters, you cannot tell them what to do. So these guys are just liars.
The government of Cameroon or Nigeria. Because they feel that these two governments are going to misrepresent facts by saying that.
That is what Sako is saying.
Yes,
but that's not what Ayabacho
excuse
says.
Me.
And the other, yes.
Excuse me. Sako is saying that the UN seems to be
So Barrister Ashu Emmanuel is making sure that he is representing Sako. He is a spokesperson of Sako. But we know that he and his Reform Party of Cameroon have an agenda in this struggle, which is to support federalism. So perhaps his utterances are in backing of his federalist ally, Sako Ikome, and have nothing to do with fairness or the truth about the situation that is happening to our people.
To intervene in Cameroon by overseeing negotiations. And the Cameroon government doesn't want that. They are going to put a language to say that all is normal, we are in control, there's no need for negotiations. So
finally, my country people, these are those liars. I have given you people the presentation that was done in the United Nations Organization Security Council by the British, who are currently the chair of the Security Council. We had our representative that was present in that meeting, our partner that was present in that meeting. They gave us a video. We have made it publicly. The United Kingdom have told the whole world exactly their plan concerning this struggle. It is not going to be in the General Assembly. It's going to be in subcommittee and not in the former format because of France. They have said it clearly. They didn't hide it. And we are working with that. We are working to change that. The governing council is working so hard diplomatically. It's not on social media doing all these things. These are those people working for the HD. They have become an HD agent working so hard to end this war so that they can have their French allies and their Swiss allies to continue exploitation of our resources. That is what it is.
They are saying that by ordering the lockdown, they will make the UN understand that the government of Cameroon is not in control, that they are instead the ones controlling.
Okay.
And that will now prompt the UN to see the need for negotiations that are organized at the international level. That's the argument.
Yeah, but
So that argument is just a lie. It's an excuse because it's based on lies. Lies that Barrister Ashu Emmanuel have said that he doesn't even know. He just take it from Sako, who is not even credible. So by calling a lockdown, somehow you are going to convince the United Nations General Assembly to take decision to come and give negotiation, when you have already gone to sign with the HD that no other person should intervene in the negotiation. How can somebody who have committed with the HD that negotiation should be an exclusive HD Switzerland affair is now going to make us believe that somehow he wants the General Assembly to take over negotiation? No! It was the governing council and the Ayoktabi and Yerima who have been campaigning that the right way to negotiate is through the United Nations mandate. So now how come somebody with the Switzerland wants to convince us that he is there doing things because he wants the General Assembly to take over negotiation when he has already committed on signature and on paper in front of the Ambazonian people that the Switzerland should be the only negotiating partner, even accepting that no other party should be involved. They want to turn good into bad and light into darkness and darkness into light. No, Fru Johnson, you are a liar. We know that the person who wants the United Nations to mediate, to give mandate for real mediation is Ayabacho and Seseko Ayoktabi. It is not Sako, because Sako have said it publicly that he is for the Switzerland. Bo Herbert and all the participants have signed there and put the paper public that there should be no third party added. We have seen Ayabacho calling the Switzerland, the HD to Norway to meet with the Norwegians, and they have made it clear that we want the United Nations mandate. So you cannot be lying that this lockdown is for the United Nations when you are for Switzerland. Somehow you just think that we are all going to be gullible. Or because the Cameroon government is going to help you to shut down all the media, not to give our perspective, and then you are going to deceive the whole people to tie them in Mukuta back and send them to Yaoundé. We are here as a vanguard. We will keep on fighting until Ambazonia is independent. If you go and negotiate for federalism, as we know you want to give power to Sako to go and negotiate for federalism, we will continue to fight. Me, I will go down there and will continue to do the fighting until Southern Cameroon is independent. If you people succeed to deceive our people, to follow a wrong way, to go and negotiate in a negotiation that will never end, so that the war will stop, it will not work. Even if you succeed and kill this generation, another generation will only live to rise up and fight. But we shall not, we the nationalists, we the hardliner, we shall not compromise. They even want us to compromise before negotiation. Can you guys imagine? What do these people think we are? What do they think they are? Nonsense. Shut up. Idiots. It will not work. You can silence everybody in ground zero, but God has his way and he has put us where we are to speak for them. Even if you pick us up like you pick Ayoktabi, it will not stop. New Capo Daniels will rise up. New Ayabachos will rise up. And we will not give an inch.